Hey gang, in this episode, Kyle's going to show us how to run with a carbine. Kyle, it's on you.
Hey, Kyle Defoor here with Defoor Proformance, out on the range today. We're going to go over some skills that I feel are very important that everybody should have, especially LE and military guys still working for a living, and that's running with a carbine. So if you think about it, with a pistol work, even if you do not want to move with your pistol, you have the option to put it in a holster in a safe, enclosed environment, and you can run, you can climb, you can go upstairs, do whatever you need to do. You don't have that option with a long gun or a carbine. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations out here, give you some options as to how to move with this gun quickly. Obviously, when we talk about this, the sling is very important. And we went over sling work in some earlier episodes, and I want to revisit just a couple of things. You got to make sure, number one, that the sling is working for you so that you can get in every position. It may be something as simple as just wearing it like a necklace instead of wearing it with your arm through it. But I typically wear mine like a necklace, and it works out pretty good. But I do size my slings up so that when they're at max length, when I have the max length in the sling, I can actually come to a high port and my arm isn't being pulled up, and I can get to this position. So on that note, one of our more important positions here is guys need the option of running with the muzzle up. I like this a lot for a couple reasons. Number one, I can work malfunctions, I can do reloads, I can still do all of that and see what's going on around me with the gun up like this. A couple of fine tuners on this. When you do it like this, you're not doing it with two hands on the gun. You're only using one. So don't get confused with a high ready, which is kind of an aggressive position where we're about to put the gun into employment. This is a movement position. You might be standing like this, you might be running, etc. So one hand on the gun, the optic itself up against the shoulder a little bit, even your iron sights, can actually take the bottom of the magazine and kind of project it toward the target. And that'll help you kind of realize what's going on. What I tell people is pretend there's a beer in the end of the muzzle and don't spill it. The biggest problem I see with this, guys will take the buttstock and put it on the outside of the arm. You can't do that. Gotta leave the buttstock on the inside of the arm, kind of fold it up against you, you take off running. A lot of units and individuals do not like bringing muzzles high. And you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, they need another way to do it. Now, something to consider is the way that we patrolled in that I showed you earlier. You know, the gun's kind of folded, if you will, like this. We can't run like this at low because it goes against the way, you know, our natural running motion is. This usually turns into this or this, and it's just not good. If you take it off to the side with one hand, you don't have really any control on it, and you could still end up sweeping yourself if it's a long barrel. So what I like to tell guys to do if they want to go low is to basically take their hand, grip the mag well, bring this out to the side, over the top of your shoulder, just like this. Couple of keynotes when you run like this. It's super safe, helps you to maintain a running motion. You need to keep a lookout for this safety to make sure gear or clothing doesn't accidentally put it on fire. You're also going to have to remount it every time you shoot, so keep that in mind as well. All right, we're gonna do some demos here on the range. I'm gonna go down at a high port run, come back at a low so you guys can take a look at it. I got a steel gong down there, gonna take a couple shots at, so here we go. All right, going back at low, right here, finger on the side, running nice, keep an eye on that safety, remounting the gun. Couple misses there, coming back again one more time. And that's it. So there's a couple of different techniques that you can use to run with a gun. The other advantage to this, once you develop these, you make them SOPs for your units or yourself, self-SOP as an individual, you can start applying this to your training. You can do some of the stuff we've shown you in past episodes and other shooting drills, add a little bit of cardio to it, and it's gonna make you that much of a better shooter. Plus, there's no situation you can't handle now, moving safely with the gun in every direction. All right, we'll see you out on the range.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by Raven Concealment System, Troy Industries, Troy Defense, Legion Firearms, U.S. Optics, Meredith Rifle, Dark Angel, Keltec, Yeti, Crossbone, Wiley X, Vertex, Black Rain Ordnance, Huber Concepts, Tac Strike, and WW Guns.
In 1985, my platoon was part of a Ranger Company deployment to Somalia. There was one branch of the military that was part of that made it challenging, interesting, and gave me one of my favorite war stories. I'd like to dedicate this episode to the United States Air Force.
Closed caption provided by Wiley X.